guys can ask whatever questions you want.
Ryan, you talked about JT a little bit up there, but obviously this is the first time you got a chance to publicly talk about him after what was a very extended recruitment. Can you just talk about JT and just that process of maybe just being a little bit more patient with him than you maybe had to be ever?
Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A couple weeks before camp. It was a very unique situation. This is a family who wanted to make the right decision for JT. And not being able to visit anywhere, never being out to Ohio, just to make that decision for the family didn't feel right. So, they really went about the process. They were deliberate. But I think it was a result of COVID and just not being able to visit. But in the end, just so excited that he's here. Probably a once-in-a-lifetime situation. But family, was a part of it all the way. And we wanted to show them that respect, that we weren't putting a lot of pressure on them, and show them the patience, and they paid off in the end.
Is the shirt saying Mark Wondro?
The Hawaiian shirt, they were hot, I guess. They kind of were flying off the rack, so I got mine. Put it away somewhere.
Right. Are you able to talk yet about how they get to where that situation is with him joining the team?
Yeah, so he's actually, I don't think I'm speaking out of school, so he's paying his own way right now. And then, we're going to hear from the NCAA about his eligibility here maybe in a few weeks, and then we'll go from there.
What do you make of that? Because now kids can transfer without sitting out a year, but they're kind of making him jump through hoops. Like, it just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different. This is not that. This is, more of a eligibility situation.
Okay.
So he can do everything with the team. He can be a part of the team. It's just a scholarship situation.
Exactly.
Ryan, is Marcus Hooker back with the team? What is his status?
He is. Yeah, he's back with the team, and he went through a tough time, but he's learned a lot from it and paid his dues and went through a bunch of different programs, and so we're supporting Marcus, and he's back on the team.
So he's eligible to play week 1?
He is.
Where is Steel Chambers practicing right now?
So he's a running back. Yeah. But he's also moved around and done some different things with Coach Washington, and so we'll see. And it's really up to Steel in the end of where he feels most comfortable as getting into the season.
Are there any other additions, subtractions heading into camp with that roster since the last time we talked to you?
When was the last time we talked? 2 years ago?
Feels like it's been 2 years.
No, it's exactly the same. I'd have to think it through, but there's nothing like that's happened in the last couple of weeks.
When Jameson left, how did that sit with you guys?
It was, no hard feelings at all. Certainly, wish Jameson nothing but the best. We got a really loaded room right there, and hate to see guys leave, but understand why he did it.
I'm guessing you're not going to name a starting quarterback right now unless you want to, but how close
I'm
do you
waiting
expect...
for you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, yeah, if you want to name one now. How close do you expect the competition to be in camp? Right?
Very, very close, and I think the thing that I've just been talking about and thinking about, and I just really want to make sure that they understand as we head back into the next couple of weeks, and I'll sit down with all of them and talk about, is that it isn't just about winning the job and playing the first game. It's a long way to December and January and everything else. So we're going to need all of them. I know in my heart we're going to. So if they focus on development and getting better, when they have their opportunity to play, then they'll let the rest of the chips fall where they may. If they get too focused on, well, when am I the starter, am I not the starter? Well, then you got to go play the game. So really the focus has got to be on development.
Are you going to reveal a pecking order, though, going into camp, or at least to us? I mean, at quarterback? Or?
No, we're going to roll those 3 guys and see. And then, obviously as we get closer on this thing, we're going to have to start to prioritize some of the snaps, but we're going to try to spread them out as best as we can, at least in those first, 2 weeks.
Ryan, is Court Williams and Cam Brown going to be healthy enough at the start of camp?
Yes. Yeah, they'll be full go. Yep.
Okay, you mentioned majority of the team's been vaccinated. How, I guess, is there room to grow? Like, how much would you want it to grow? And coaches have talked about it being a competitive advantage because obviously guys wouldn't have to miss games.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, you got to weigh the risk of all those things, but we're getting close. I mean, I feel like the guys are, in the end, hopefully we get to close to 100%. We'll see. In the end, we're certainly not going to make anybody. That's their decision. But there's risk with everything that they do, and so I feel pretty good where we're at. And hopefully, as we get into the next week or 2, we can kind of add a few guys to that list.
Is the beard here to stay?
We don't know.